Hey there, planner friends, and welcome to this plan with me in what is the second week of One Book July. Now, last week's plan with me, the theme was a little haphazard. I wanted to do something summery and different, and I had this notebook lying around, so I went with it. The layout itself was a little chaotic. I mean, it still worked and everything, but generally my pattern is if I have a really chaotic, crazy spread, then the next week's spread, I just instinctually kind of make it more simple and a little bit more typical of like your standard planner layout. And this week is no exception from that sort of trend. I knew that I wanted to use some of my pretty blues and purples, sort of calming colors, and I happened to receive a new order from Fox and Cactus, which is their version of Galaxy Washi, and I just had to use it. And I also knew that I had this very scene-stealing washi sample from an Etsy seller, and I purchased this maybe 2 years ago, and it's this really weird celestial space whale edifice sort of combo washi, and it's super appealing, and I thought it would all go really well together, and I really think it did. Now, washi samples are fantastic if, like me, you are just getting into maybe pretty planning or even functional planning and you're looking for just like a tiny little accent. You don't have the time to really draw something out, or that's not your jam anyways, then washi samples are a more cost-effective way to kind of expand your range. Because I know it's a little intimidating to buy washi rolls, especially considering the fact that you don't use a ton when you plan. At least for my spreads, despite my heavy washi usage and the fact that I love washi so much, you don't really use a lot per week. So I've had a lot of rolls for like a year, 2 years, and they do go bad. The adhesives wear away or something like that. It just degrades over time. So you won't use it very quickly. It'll degrade over time, so you have this like ticking time bomb sort of thing. So that's where washi samples come in. They're usually like $1. You get a few inches. It depends from store to store. I think the standard is about 12 inches to 18 inches, but it's one way to really boost your arsenal while still making it a little cheap and making it something you'll actually use. I say this, but of course, once I got the washi samples, then I got addicted and bought washi rolls, so now I'm left with a drawer full of washi samples. But all I'm saying is washi samples are one cost-effective way to go if you're looking to add that little extra something to your spreads, whether it's bullet journaling or Erin Condren planning or just standard ring-bound planners. I divided my days using the Fox and Cactus Galaxy, like stars and moon washi, and then I decided I have like a permanent pen that will write on anything, including washi. However, I didn't want to write over it, which is something I would normally do, so I used some black post-its and wrote on the adhesive portion using one of the broad Uniball metallic colored pens. The silver is probably the second best after the white that I used last week, and I do not recommend the gold whatsoever unless you use it continuously, because something happens where the ink separates and then it becomes really orange. So if you use gold all the time, then buy the trio, but if you don't use gold all the time, than just go for the silver and the white, because no matter how long you put off in between uses, it won't separate and do weird things like the gold. So that's another PSA. But I used it here on black sticky notes, the Post-it brand sticky notes, just to write my dates, more as a visual cue than anything, because I really like my own handwriting. That's already established, but I do like it to stick out from just like my regular day-to-day tasks and appointments and that sort of thing. So that's why it got the fancy metallic pen and black Post-it treatment. I also added the same tracker essentially as the tracker from last week. I began the week just chronicling or attempting to build 3 of these habits, and I added a 4th as the week wore on, and that is taking iron supplements, because I've had a heck of a week in which basically everything I planned for fell through, because it was just physically, mentally exhausting. So all my planner ladies, I feel you. You know what I'm talking about. But anyways, back to the super planning. So despite how beautiful this spread looked, most of my plans fell through, but that's okay, because I used the opportunity to kind of document more of what I actually did. So I will show you that version on my Instagram if you'd like to check it. I should have an updated spread on Sunday, just showing how it worked out for me. But I am recording this voiceover on a Saturday, and I can say for sure that I did not let this spread go to waste. Although I did not do the bulk of what I planned, I'm not one who whites out my appointments or anything like that. I only white out like errors or mistakes in my own writing. I do not like to just block out canceled things. I just write a line through it. And then I use stickers to mark what actually happened. So it still looks pretty. I don't feel like it was a waste. And I think this is one of my favorite spreads of recent memory. This I feel I could easily do once school begins as well. So I'm just adding the finishing touches here, using a mild liner to make my meal planning section, which I'm trying out for this week, just blend in a little bit more. I also decided to show like what I'm actually planning for, which again is more like appointments, not so many tasks, just because I wasn't sure what was going to come this week. And to cap it all off, I wanted to make sure that it kind of matched everything that was going on. And while I've been doing like a reflection page in previous week's spreads, I realized I keep saying the same things over and over, so I wanted to minimize that notes portion this week, so that hopefully it'll be a true reflection and not just redundant repeating of what I already know. So that is my week. I will say that usually Washi blends easily with each other, but I just had to reinforce some sections with some glue stick this week. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a wonderful day.